The alternative to Karl Marx, Mao Zedong, Pol Pot, Adolf Hitler, Kim Jong-un, whatever his name is, North Korea, Joseph Stalin, Engels, philosophers, dictators, monarchs. I'm giving you the alternative, the biblical view. 1,000 years, 1,050 years before Christ, this was written down. Way before Karl Marx ever came on the earth. He came along in 1815 AD. This is 1000 BC, way before he showed up. This is what this person was saying. You need to write these down for your future reference. I'm in Psalms 10, starting at about verse 4. See if this sounds familiar, based on what you heard about Karl Marx and the philosophers of this age and the past ages. In his pride, Karl Marx, the wicked Karl Marx, does not seek God. In all his thoughts, there is no room for God. This was written 1,050 years before Jesus showed up. There's a group of individuals, and they're called prideful and wicked, and they don't seek God. In all their thoughts, there is no room for God. You never heard Karl Marx or Engels or Lenin or Stalin or Mao or none of them ever mentioned the word God, and certainly no word of Jesus. The rebellious ones, their ways are always prosperous. Listen, they can make a lot of money. Look, all that money in modern day Russia, you say about 300 people run that whole thing. All the people is kind of doled out to them as 300 or 400 oligarchy. They run that thing with an iron hand. You say, where's all the money go? Their ways are always prosperous. Oh, they can make that money. They are haughty. The socialists, the communists, they sneer. He says to himself, nothing will shake me. I'll always be happy and never have trouble. Now look, these Marxists and socialists and communists, they don't have but 70 years, 75 or 80 at the most, for 99% of them. You say, are they worried about their physical death? They just think that's the end of it. And whatever they do while they're on planet Earth, that's what happened. And then I'm gone. Nothing motivates them to be loving, full of joy, to be peaceful people, to be patient, kind, good, faithful, gentle, exercise self-control. You say, none of those attributes follow these people. Nope. Lord, who may dwell in your sanctuary? Who may live on your holy hill? Are there any out there? He whose walk is blameless, and he who does what is righteous, who speaks the truth from his heart, and has no slander on his tongue, who does his neighbor no wrong. Remember the greatest verses in the Bible, love God, love your neighbor. That's what the psalmist is speaking of. He casts no slur on his fellow man. He despises a vile man and honors those who fear the Lord, who keeps his oath, even when it hurts, who lends his money without usury, without adding interest to it, and does not accept a bribe against the innocent. He who does these things will never be shaken. I'm seeing a pattern on how people behave and who they follow that explains their behavior. I'm looking at Antifa and groups like it, the ones who have embraced Marxism. I'm looking at their behavior when they're in the street, burning up vehicles, tearing down the American flag, raising up some other flag. You would think people would say, life and immortality, I might ought to check this Jesus out instead of Karl Marx. Might ought to get off that train. You say, you're not going to convince any of them. What are you talking about? I already have.